Hi everyone. So, as planned, an English speaking afternoon for me, and maybe for you it's a morning or an afternoon as well for wherever you're watching, and depending on which time zone you live in. So, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon right here, and as promised, today we are doing some crafting, some sewing, and some planning. And as I said before, this stream is going to be English speaking. Up until now, I only did German-speaking streams here on my Twitch channel. In the future, I plan to mix that up a bit. So those in the morning, German time, um, will probably be get shortened and stay in German, and then I'll do some in the early afternoon, which will also be German, and then in the evening, I will do some English ones. So that's at least the plan. I'm currently working on a schedule for next week that already reflects my ideas. So stay tuned for an update. I'll let you know when it's online. I still have to check whether it coordinates with all the appointments I do have for next week because there are some, so we'll see. All right, that's for that. Then a couple of other things. First of all, we have a Discord community. The link is in the chat. I already posted it there. You can also see it on my profile. Feel free to hop onto this Discord server and become a part of our community. We're a bunch of pretty cool people, creative people. You can share and discuss topics around sewing, planning, and crafting over there. Plus, I'm posting some freebies on a regular basis. I just added some this morning and this afternoon. So I'm still working on the overall structure. It's not 100% complete yet, and the guidelines and the rules and the server guide still has to be written, or better to say finalized, but I think we're on a good way. Yeah, apart from that, let me see, I have a cheat sheet. Then we have, as I said, live streams on Twitch. I did some English speaking live streams on YouTube a little while ago, but I figured I should maybe combine all live streaming efforts on one platform. So this will be Twitch in the future. I'm going to live stream here on Twitch in English and in German, and then going to distribute the streams onto my two YouTube channels. The already existing one, the one with the most videos on it, will be the place where the English speaking videos will be uploaded. And then there's a newer one with just German content. So that is what I'm taking care of after every stream. I'm making sure that the video is distributed to the right YouTube account for you to rewatch whenever you feel like, because Twitch unfortunately deletes my streams after about, I think it was 6 or 7 days at the moment. Because I'm a regular streamer, nothing special, neither an affiliate nor a partner, I only have 6 or 7 days. Yeah. I think when you're affiliate and or a partner, it becomes like 15 or even 50 days. I'm not quite sure, but for me, it's about 6 or 7 days. So unlimited time over at YouTube. It usually takes me about a day or two to edit and upload. So when I, for example, do a stream now, it's probably available on a YouTube channel around Friday in the morning or maybe Thursday afternoon. So it depends on how good YouTube is working, how it's processing my videos, what kind of appointments I have, etc. pp. But I'm trying to process everything within a day, maximum two. All right. Then I think that's almost it. Yeah, I started rebranding my already existing or old channels, whatever you may call it. So probably some of you have already realized that there's Uta's DIY going on everywhere now. I changed the color schemes, I changed the logos, um, the channel names, things like that. I'm currently working on the Instagram handle, and Twitch also needs my Twitch account or channel, still needs some further links, I think, and then I'm almost done. All right. That's it for the long introduction. We're going to start now with my first topic for today. I ordered a new planner. It wasn't planned, but I did, you know. Some of you already know that I'm currently working with a personal planner, persönlicher Kalender in German. And this is 2022, the first year I actually ordered one. They're around much longer. It's a Swedish company, I figured. And they are offering the possibilities for you to customize your own planner and let them print and ship it to you. So this is how mine looked for 2022. So I choose this cover, and it looks even better when you have this protection layer not in front of it. So I really like the layout. Zodiac signs and just the year down there. And same design on the back. So I'm not going to show you exactly how it looks inside because I've been using it every single week, and there's a lot of stuff in there that's not supposed to be released to the public. So, matter of privacy and such. Um, as I said, I ordered a new planner for 2023. It's the same size, same company. And I thought I could walk you through the different steps and the different options that I choose. So that would be the first thing we do. All right. Yeah, let's do that, I would say. So let's switch to Google Chrome. You should now see my Google Chrome browser with the website of Personal Planner. So they now offer not just the coil-bound planners, but they do also offer mix books and um, organizers. So they do offer way more than they did last year. But what I'm going to do is I am showing you how I ordered my personal planner. So it's basically the same design like this year. I prefer that way. I don't want an organizer. These are the organizers. As you can see, they're pretty Filofax. Um, yeah, but like Filofax. I think even regarding pricing. But I'm not really a fan of this these rings in the middle. Not that easy to write in there. I mean, with the coil-bound planner, it's okay. It's not 100%, but it's okay. And I love the fact that I can add pages to it. I mean, you can also do that with an organizer, but ring bound's better for me. So we will just pretend like we are designing a new planner. Let me just quickly check whether everything is all right. Yeah, everything's all right. Okay, so this is the first page. So what you have to do here is you have to choose the size. Let me see. Okay, this is the size that I chose. Where can you change the size, by the way? It's kind of strange. Oh, it's only available in this size. Okay. I thought they changed that, but obviously they didn't. But okay. Okay. So it's only available in A5. By the way, regarding the pricing, I see here that for the US, or no, they set my settings to Canada. Let me see what they say about the US, because $42 is quite a lot. United States, maybe? Yeah, United States. And there it is. Let me see. Oops. Yeah, $42 as well. So in Germany it was 31 euros. Let me just quickly check regarding the exchange rate. 31 euros in US dollars. So it is definitely more expensive when you buy it in the US. Okay, good to know. Didn't know that before. Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the configuration. So the first thing that you can change is the front cover. There are a couple of options, as you can see, a lot of patterns. You can even upload your own images if you like. I didn't do that because I actually prefer using some of these because they're simply great. So what I chose this year, I thought about choosing this one, but then said, okay, this is the one that I had this year, and the other one looks quite similar, and I wanted to have something different. So the choice was between these two, and I finally decided for this one. You can also choose plain patterns or just plain color. So nothing more fancy there. Then the cover text. You could add a name or a title or whatever in the middle. I myself decided to leave this one. Whoops. Mm, to leave it blank because I don't want to have a title in the middle. I prefer looking at the pattern itself. Then the line number 2 is down here, and I chose the year 2023 as well. I think I chose the gray option and semi-transparency like this. Yeah, text placement is aligned, vertically centered, and then it's semi-transparent. You can choose whether you want to have a border around it or not. Well, I think I chose this one. Yeah, I think I did. Okay. Then what do we have next? The elastic closure. There are a couple of options you can choose from. I chose the golden option last year, but as you can see, I'm not using it anymore because I had the feeling that those elastics are way too tight for the planners, especially when you're like me and you're adding pages. So what I did is, as I mostly keep it at home on my desk, I most of the time used my planner without an elastic at all, and then I just simply used an elastic that came with an A5. What was it? It was a 6-ring binder that I ordered for something else, and this one came with 3 different types of elastics, 3 different colors, a brown one, a black one, and a red one, and I simply just used the brown one here for this planner. It's not as tight as the one from Personal Planners, so I prefer this option. Or, as I said, no elastic at all. So for next year, I decided to totally skip the elastic and go without any. If I want to, I can still add one of my elastic that I already have here. Okay, then we have the spiral color. You can choose between white and gray. I went with gray. So it's mostly a silver optic like you can see right here. I'm not a fan of white. Okay, so that's it for the front cover. Then the back cover, and of course, same options here like for the front cover, and I went for the matching design on the back. Again, you can upload your own pictures, and you can choose simple colors, plain patterns, or some of the fancier ones up here. Then in step number 2, we are customizing our weekly setups. First thing you have to do is you have to decide which language you want your planner to be written in and for which country you want to choose the public holidays that are printed into your planner. They actually changed the title slightly because last year I know it just said English, English, and I was like confused. Is it that these are German holidays but written in English, or holidays for England, but I was totally confused. So now I'm just simply changing it to Germany in German, and you can see these are the options. Like, for example, for the United States, you have the option to have them printed in English or in Spanish. And for Canada, it would be English and French, for example. Okay, so I chose Germany and German, and the inlay selected language, I think I went for English. All right, continue. Then next you have to define with which month you're going to start in this particular planner. As you can see, you can start in the middle of the year, it doesn't matter. As it is a planner for 2023, I'm going to start in January, and then you always have 12 months. So let's say continue. All right. If you would please be so kind and not post any advertising to my chat, that would be appreciated, by the way. I just have to delete that real quick. Let me see. Stream Manager. Hate it. How on earth do you delete a comment around here? This is so annoying. Do I have to filter it or something? This is kind of extremely annoying. Pop out. Maybe it's working this way. I don't know. Oh, it already blocked it. Perfect. So it already vanished. That's good. All right. I'm sorry for the interruption, but I don't like any kind of advertising on my channel. All right, back to our planner. So we chose the language, we chose the starting month and the date range. And that means we can continue with step number 3. So you have the option to change in so-called inlay design. It's on the header of the weeklies. It's all per default, it's normally the design you already chose for the cover this time as well, so I'm not going to change anything here, but I just wanted to show you that there are a bunch of patterns available here, so you can customize just the way you like it, more or less. Then we have the weekly layout. There are a couple of options. Let me show you. So this is the standard layout. It is, let me just quickly think, it's in vertical. Is this one called a vertical layout? I think it's a vertical. I'm not quite sure. This would be horizontal then, as well as this one. The difference is that this one almost evenly distributes the space you have available between the different days. This one stresses the weekend almost. Ah, okay. So you don't have 2 days in one row down here, but every day does have its own row, but it sort of doesn't look really nice if you have four on this side and three on this side. It's not exactly my cup of tea, to be honest. So then we have the fourth option where you have a box per day. The fifth is almost the same. What's the difference here? Ah, okay. It's the order in which the days are arranged. So this one says that on the top you go from Monday to Tuesday over both pages, and then from Friday to Sunday over both pages, and then you have a fourth box that is left empty for whatever you like. And this one does have Monday till Thursday on the first page and Friday till Sunday on the second with a blank box. Okay, understood. So this is also an option. Then we have option number 6. This is, by the way, the layout that I chose. I prefer to have a blank page on the right and an overview of the actual days on the left. And I love these column style that they have right here. So this is basically what I chose. The other option would be to have smaller boxes like this. Or let me see. It's the order there mentioned as well. This one goes like left, right, and this one goes top to bottom, top to bottom. And you always have an empty box down here. All right, so we will switch back to option number 6, which is the option that I chose for my planner that I ordered yesterday, by the way. So I'm quite looking forward to receiving it. I'm later going to check what my order is doing. So I know it has already been checked by the company and went into production. So let's see. Well, so next thing is you can choose how your right side is going to look like. So you could have like different colors of rows in there. You could have a dot grid, lined, a checklist version, like make to-do lists. It's a bit like bullet journaling. You could also have like workout logs, weekly goals, and I think they're calling it the Bujo layout. I myself decided to go for a simple dot grid. This way I can customize each week the way I need it to be in this particular week. Usually I'm using the right side, the right page, as some kind of bullet journaling where I have my to-do list where I can cross off whatever it needs to be done. And I even have a few tasks scheduled there way in advance. So even at the beginning of the year, I already note down a couple of tasks that are recurring, for example, like monthly garbage pickup and stuff like that. Or I know that I just recently ordered cat food for my cat, and I know that in about, I don't know, 1.5 or 2 months, I have to reorder. Therefore, I would put that into my calendar, reorder cat food, or his medicine, for example, needs to be picked up from the vet. That would also be something that is already written in there. Then I have small checkboxes there that I just simply cross off. Then at the end of the week, I go through my list and I mark each row and I cross it off gray with a gray brush pen if it's completed or if it's dismissed, because sometimes you write tasks in there that you're actually not working on. I don't know. You have them in there, but afterwards they weren't that important, or I don't know, for whatever reason, you're never going to complete them. So then I also cross them off completely. And then there are tasks you didn't complete in this particular week, so you postpone them for, I don't know, a week or two. And these are marked with blue in my case, after I transferred them into the next week or another week. So after transfer, they're marked in blue. This is the way that I do it. All right, back to the layout. I chose a dot grid. Then I think that's it for this step. Yeah, okay. So we have the weekly layout and we decided on the cover design and the right side. Now we have the writing space and the ruler. We will continue with the writing space. Writing space is basically the space of this layout over here. Again, you can have a colorful layout if you like. It's the same for each month. Just keep that in mind. You can't say, I want, I don't know, maybe January in blue and then February in pink. You have to choose one color for every single month and every single week, just to make sure, right? And oh my gosh. Okay. And then the standard layout is ruled or dot grid. I went for dot grid. In this particular planner, I went for ruled. It's cool, but I thought about trying out a dot grid next year. Just something different to mix things up, you know? All right, so we will stay with the dot grid. Then we can customize the ruler. You have just a few options here. You can even say that you don't need a ruler at all. I could reuse this one. I think it's the blue version of the one that is it Pedro? Hard to say which color that is. Um, I don't know which color I choose to be honest. But in the end, I decided to leave this one in here as a complete planner because I keep my planners. And to simply choose a new one. As the cover design is pretty plain and simple and not that colorful, I went for a gray ruler this time. All right. That's step number 3. And then we have some details that we can add. You could, if you like, add a few icons where you could mark the weather of each day. You could even lock working hours, or you could lock your workout schedule if you like. I left it blank to be honest. And then you also have the possibility to add timestamps, which I didn't. I left it blank because I like to design my planners, like put scrapbooking paper in there and stuff. All right. Next is you have different modules down here, like 2 in this box down here and 1 over here, that you can decide what goes in there. There are a couple of creative possibilities like trackers and stuff, or even coloring options or quotes, depending on what you prefer. Again, I went with a simple dot grid. Gray simple dot grid, so nothing too fancy. You can also change the color of the dot grid, but I went for a simple gray dot grid. But you have quite a lot of options, as you can see right here. I did the same for these 2 modules, so let me just quickly change that. Right. So that's it. You can't customize the option down here. I think now it says notes. The day that I ordered mine, about a year ago, there weren't any possibilities to change what's written down there. I think it didn't have a title. Let me see. I mostly glued something over it, but yeah, it's just blank without a title. It was just a blank box down there. So no customizing possible. But that's not such a huge biggie. That's okay. All right, personal dates. You have the possibility to let them already print a couple of personal dates into your planner. You could, for example, upload a file of birthdays or other important dates and let them already print them in there. But to use that feature, you need to create an account and you need to be willing to share your personal information. I wasn't willing to do that. But in the end, I love to put small stickers in there for birthdays and other special dates. So I just left it with the public holidays, and that's it. Step number 6. This one is a pretty interesting step. So you can add additional spreads to your planner. The first thing that you have to decide on is whether you want monthly overviews or not. You have 2 options. You have monthly overviews with starting day Monday and some that start on Sunday. By default, they chose Sunday, but I don't like that. For Germany, it is quite common to have the starting date on Monday. And I actually fell in love with my monthly overview. It's also the spread where I keep my monthly goals in the end, check them off, and do a lot of decorations. So, monthly overview it is. Monday start. Then you could add some yearly overviews. I think I chose 2023 compact. No 2024, don't need that, but having a quick overview of 2023 is kind of cool. Last year I had these overviews, but I simply didn't need them. I didn't use them, and in the end, I even cut it out, I think, or ripped them out. So useless for me, more or less. And if you don't need it, then you can use that space for something else. All right. Next is clean space. You could add, for example, a cleaning schedule, organize your home or declutter your home. Then health goals in mind, like habit trackers for workout and such. Even journaling pages. There's a self-care journal, which is kind of cute, where you have one line per day, I think, and then you can check it off at the end. All right. Even a yearly reflection is in there. I'd use something similar, but I'm not going to use this one. Then you have some simple lists, and this is where it gets important for me because I have a couple of layouts that I love to have in my planner that last year I had to draw myself and create myself. So the first thing I did was I had to create pages for my goals. I work on my goals starting with a whole page for the whole year. So a single page, just a blank page, maybe rule, dot, grid, whatever, just for the year where I note down everything that I want to accomplish or that I have to accomplish in that particular year. Afterwards, I transfer that to a quarterly spread where I say, like, in quarter one of the year, I have to do this, and quarter two, that. And then I move on to monthly and divide everything into the different month. So what I did here to accomplish this with as less effort as possible is I first chose list number 4, which has 4 boxes, which could easily be used for the 4 quarters of a year. Now I have those boxes on both sides, but that's okay. I'm just going to glue something over the left side to have it, to have just one plain page. That is okay. So I'm going to add this one. It usually adds 4 pages. Just to let you know, I reduced that down to just 2 pages. So just the left and the right page. Afterwards, I need to have an overview for the monthlies. Means I need 12 boxes. We have here a list that contains of 6 boxes per page, so perfect for that purpose. Once again, it adds 4 pages. I only need 2, so I reduced that. Then up next, you have the possibility to add a couple of trackers, which I didn't do. I thought about maybe a tracker for books and movies, but in the end, no, not that important. You could even create a travel journal here. Then we have budgeting, special notes for students and for teachers, creativity things like Sudokus or those special bullet journal pages that we already saw while customizing the weekly setup. And then we have some simple pages, and that's where it gets interesting. We have some ruled ones. We have dot grid. Here it is, dotted ones. Did I use the dotted ones? Yeah, I think I added dotted ones. Yeah, dot grid. This year it's definitely dot grid. So what I did there is I basically filled up everything, well, almost everything with a dot grid. Like 2 pages left. And those 2 pages are supposed to be a lock for 2024. So sometimes, especially at the end of a year, you already get appointments or already dates for the following year. That's the place where you can add them. That's quite perfect. And to do so, I also add a couple of those list number 5 pages that do have 6 boxes per page. Meaning I have 1 box per month, 2 pages. And then I can simply say January until December 2024 and already write in there what's important for me. All right. And regarding the order in which I decided to have this one noted down, I think it's almost correct. Yeah, that's even the order that I chose. I played around with it a couple of times, but then ended up having this order. So the monthly overviews always are followed by the weekly overviews of this particular month. So they are like changing up. Then we have right after the last weekly spread, we have the year overview in compact mode. Then we have the lists with the 4 boxes per page that I'm going to turn into the first 2 pages for my goals. And then we have list number 5 with the 6 boxes per page. Again, monthly goal setting. Then the dotted pages for everything else that I have to think about. There are a couple of lists, etc., that I'm definitely going to create in there, but they will be created by myself. There's nothing in there that even comes even close to what I need. So, but that's not a biggie. I mean, with a dot grid, you can create so much. That's okay. And then at the end, again, we have this list number 5 type, 6 boxes per page for creating a future log for 2024. Hi! So that is the planner that I chose. And then at the end, you have the possibility to add a quote at the beginning. If you want to do so, you have different lines that you can fill. You can even add emojis if you like. Did I add a text? I don't know. I think I left this one empty, then added my favorite quote. And somewhere I added my name. Wait, placement, right. You can see that you can change the text color and the text placement, but you can't change the font size or the font type. But that's okay. All right. And then the last step is basically an overview of what kinds of pages you chose, what different customization options you've chosen, and it gives you again the opportunity to change a couple of things. This is something they automatically include. It is, first of all, one plastic pocket. I can show you what this looks like. I currently store a couple of stickers in there. This one. So it's an easy plastic pocket, as you can see. And what is also added is one sticker sheet. Last year, the sticker sheet was not exactly my color palette. It was like pink and such. So I simply passed that one on to a friend of mine who's more into that kind of colors and choose to use other stickers. This year, I actually also ordered a sticker package with stickers for all kinds of seasons. So yeah, let's see how that looks when it arrives. When it arrives, depending on when that will be. So afterwards, you would add it to your cart and then you can order it. You don't have to create a login to order. At least I didn't have to when I ordered on the German website. So I assume that it is an international standard that you don't have to create a login or an account. There are probably some benefits when you actually create an account, like you can upload a customized picture for front and back cover, for example, and some personalized dates. But in my case, I thought that's not necessary, so I don't need an account. All right. So I'm quite looking forward to my new beauty arriving hopefully pretty soon. I hope that I will receive it during the next week, maybe, and then we could do an unboxing and have a first look into it. So I'm quite excited. As I said, this is the one I'm using right now, same company, almost same layout. Well, the layout is quite similar. It's just that I didn't use .grid. I used the ruled versions. So quite looking forward to it. And I really love that planner, even though I had to change quite a lot in it. But that was basically my fault because I ordered the wrong additional modules. All right. Now, what's next? Chi-Chi to the rescue. As I said in the title of this stream, we are doing kind of everything today. We are planning, we're crafting, we're sewing. So what we just did was definitely planning or creating a tool for planning, but it is personal planner configuration. It's planning. So let me just first of all change back to this view. Okay. Um, Up next is the crafty part. And I have a couple of projects that I can actually do with you. Let me just quickly check what time it is. We have 20 to 5. Okay. So we should be able to do at least one or two of the crafting projects. And afterwards, I've got a small sewing project for you. So let's start with the crafty stuff. So Christmas is approaching, and I'm pretty sure that a couple of you use gift tags. I do, especially when I do have a package that I send out to someone or someone and his family or her family, and I want everyone to actually open the correct present. This year, my gift tags look like this. Plain, easy, and simple, and quite easy to create. And I'm going to show you how exactly I created these. What you need for that is, first of all, for this, you need a punch. I ordered one from Butinetta a little while ago. It's a simple snowflake punch. And I've got something stuck in there, but that's okay. Then, for the edges, you don't really need a punch. It's kind of optional, but it gives it a cleaner look if you use a punch. So the smaller corners were punched with the option S. And back here, I simply punched both sides with L, with large. So this one definitely comes in handy. I can recommend it. So both Butinetta. All right. What else? Paper. Two kinds of paper used for this one, brown paper and white paper. This time we are using brown paper and red paper. So, first of all, you need one straight edge where you use your punch and simply, in my case, punch the snowflake onto the piece of paper. A couple of snowflakes, depending on how many tags you need. Make sure there's enough distance in between so they don't overlap and you can actually create your tags with an adequate width. By the way, the leftover snow stars can be used for other crafting projects. So what I did, for example, I created a tiny little envelope for one of my friends that is actually getting Christmas mail every year and put different colored punched snowflakes in there and just wrote Christmas confetti on it. So that would also be an option. All right, so for now, I'm creating two tags. I just punched in there. What I do now is I measure approximately the actual dimensions. Where is my, here's my pencil. So I know that the punch does have a diameter of about 1.5 centimeters, which means that my actual gift tag, I think it was 2.4 centimeters. We make this one a bit wider. That's okay. I'm just going to cut it down slightly so I don't have to use like too much of the paper and put glue on I don't know how much paper. And I just realized that the edge isn't straight enough. Woohoo. Okay, I'll just quickly cut it down around here. So I just cut it down in size. Make sure when you cut it down that there's still enough paper left to cover the actual size of the tag that you want to come out. Then I use another piece of paper. For this one I used white. Now I'm going to use red because I still had red left over from this morning. And then I'm putting glue on the back side of this one and then just simply put it on there. All right. Because I don't want to have any more glue on my cutting mat, I'm just putting a piece of scrap paper underneath. Make sure that you put enough glue around the punched hole, or in my case, the punched snowflake, because otherwise it will probably peel off and that's not that nice. Okay. Then I'm just going to put it down here. Nice and simple. So just glued it down there. The paper doesn't need to be too thick because it gets sturdier when you add the second layer of paper. And even with the glue, it gets kind of sturdier. And while it's drying, I'm just quickly shutting my blinds. Give me a second. Neighbors are watching, don't like that. All right. So now I am using, how is it called in English? I don't know. This special kind of ruler. So first of all, when the edge isn't straight yet, or not properly straight, I'm putting one down there, and then I'm measuring from the middle of the punched symbol, almost the middle, you just eyeball it, to each side. And we will do 1.25 centimeters to each side. I'm doing the same with the other punch, the other snowflake. Then I'm making sure that with a 90-degree angle, I am drawing the next line on the left side and on the right side of the snowflake. Same goes with the second snowflake. 90-degree angle, 2 lines, left and right side. After you did that, it's time to decide how long you want your gift tag to be. Mine is, let me just quickly check, 6 centimeters. That's a bit more than 2 inches. 1 inch is 2.53 centimeters, by the way. So I am just marking 6 centimeters on both sides and then draw a line through both marks. And then I know exactly where I can cut it out. This way. So you cut it out along the lines that you just drew. Now I know what I forgot to grab before I sat down. I forgot my eraser, but that's okay. I can do that afterwards. So I recommend drawing those lines with a pencil because afterwards, when you're done cutting out, you can erase them and everything looks clean again. Can't do that right now because I don't know where my eraser is, and honestly, there's chaos over there. Okay, so just quickly cutting out this one. Now it looks like this, and what we're doing now is either use your scissors to round the edges, or like I do, use a punch. So I'm using the option small for the corners near where I punched the snowflake. Et voila. And the option large on the top. And then it looks like this. All right. Now I have another punch. That punch is just simple holes. And I'm taking this one to punch a hole in there on the top, where I later can add some ribbon or something like that. Just make sure it's almost in the middle, punch it, and you're done. Gift tag done. Same goes with the second gift tag. I'm using the option S to punch the corners, where I punched the snowflake, and option large on top. And then this hole punch, just a hole on the top, where I can later add a ribbon. And we're done. Et voila. 2 gift tags done in just a couple of minutes. You can use different kind of colors. For one Christmas box, I, for example, chose to choose, I think it was a red background, a white background, a green background, and something else for different people. So you can color code and write the name on it. And I love to color code. I even color code regarding ribbons on the presents itself. So that's just me. All right. So that is our first Christmas craft. Let me just quickly put away some of the paper scraps. All right. Then I'm going to share something with you that I already did in this morning's crafting stream that I did in German, because it's so cute and there's an option that I still want to try out. It's crafting star boxes. Not Starbucks, but star boxes. And they look like this. A simple sheet of paper can be folded into this, and I think it's absolutely adorable and cute, and you can decorate, for example, your table with it and put maybe some cookies in there or other Christmas candy and put one on each plate or maybe in the middle of the table as decoration, something like that. So I'm just quickly showing you how these are folded. I'm going to make one in this size. Just to give you an idea, the paper for this was 10 by 10 centimeters. The paper for this was 15 by 15 centimeters. And the paper for this was 21 by 21 centimeters. So what we're doing now is we're taking a piece of paper, 15 by 15. Just quickly choose a color. Did I already have green? No, we didn't do a green one, right? But green on green doesn't really, it's not that good. Let's do orange. We will do orange. I haven't done orange, so we will do orange. So you need a simple piece of paper. All sides same length. 90-degree angles. You know? First thing you do is a book fold on both sides. Now it looks like this. Afterwards, you fold it diagonally in both sides. What I like to do to make the next step a bit easier is I fold it diagonally this way, then turn it around and do the other diagonal fold. You will later see why. So, and then turn it around and do the other one. Because the next step would be to fold the paper like this. And this is way easier when the diagonal folds are not done in the same way. Then you turn it upside down. So you have the opening on top. Now you take the flaps on both sides, left and right, back and front, and fold them to the middle. as neatly as possible. Oh, well, remember, opening must be on the top. Okay. Now it looks like this from both sides. What you do now is you take each flap, open it, and create little pockets with it, basically, and fold them down there. Again, each side, left, right, front, back. So 4 times again. Then it looks like this, a bit flowery. Now the next step would be to, you have like an opening in here, to fold half of this flat inside this opening. So you fold half of it in there. Same goes for this one, half of it in there. Can get a bit tricky at the top, but just stay calm and take your time. So this is the last one. And now it looks like this. And you can see where you folded them inside. What you do now on the front and on the back is you take this piece of paper, like let me show you, and fold it down as much as possible, like this. Then you turn it around and do the same on the other side. Now it looks like this. Now you take these 2 flaps, pull them open, and now the little box is beginning to form. Again, fold the sides to secure everything neatly in place, and then you have to fold open the bottom of the box carefully to not rip the paper. You have to press here and there, but that's okay. And we're done. Voila. Easy, right? Easy, cute, and I think I already did that when I was little, so yeah. All right. What we're doing now, what I haven't tried before, but I came across this idea and I thought it would be quite fun. I just realized that I chose the wrong color, is try to fold it with transparent paper. Like this. I know green wasn't the best color. I realized that now, but we'll just give it a try. This one is 20 by 20 centimeters, I think. Oh, I don't have the package here. Otherwise, I could have chosen a different color, but it seems like I already put the package away. Damn it. Well, we'll try our best. So, once again, we start with the book fold. Not sure whether it works with this kind of paper, but we will figure that out. Then turn it around about 90 degrees and do another book fold. This kind of paper is slippery. Now we have to fold it diagonally. Not sure this was a good idea. As I said, we're just going to try. Whether it's working or not, not sure. And turn it around and one more diagonal fold. And this kind of paper is already slightly driving me bananas. Bad idea. All right. Now we're doing what we did before. We're folding the sides inwards like this, so that it now looks like this, opening at the top. Then, once again, we fold these flaps inward, right to the middle. Now it looks like this. What we do now is, oh wait, we did a mistake. No, that was wrong. Oh, I forgot I had it the wrong side up. Okay, fold that one back. I have to fold from the top, right? There was something. Okay, so opening to the top and then fold the flaps inward. Well, my mistake. Looks the same. Now we take each flap and opening it up to create little pockets and fold it like this on each side. Front, back, left, right. So again, 4 times. Sometimes when using transparent paper, it might be easier to create proper folds by going over the folds with your fingernails. This way you can press it down a bit. Okay, now it looks like this, and once again we are folding these flaps inside. Both sides, left, front, left, right, back, front. Jeez. Okay, now it looks like this. Now we take the front part and fold it down like this. Same goes with the back. Fold it down. And then we take the sides and pull them open like this, and also fold down the flaps on the side to secure everything. And then we pull and push and fiddle the box into place. Oopsie. Okay, so lesson learned, it works with transparent paper, but it's kind of fiddly. And it actually looks smoother when you're using regular paper, but maybe when you use a tinier sheet of paper, it looks kind of better. You never know. All right. So this is how the transparent paper actually look like. And in this one, you could actually put maybe an LED tea light or something, and could use it as a small tea light on your desk. I could do that later. After the stream, I will try that out. I have a couple of small tea lights and LED tea lights, and I still have another project that I have to light up more or less with an artificial tea light, of course, and to post later, though I will do that with this one as well. As I said, daughter of a firefighter, reduce the risk of burning down the house, especially around Christmas. All right. So these were the star boxes. Also not star boxes, but star boxes. Even though Starbucks is also great. By the way, the Starbucks in our town, or the town near where I lived, closed down permanently. I'm kind of annoyed. It was the only one in this area. Mm. All right, I will put these over here so they're not in the way. All right, so we made some gift tags. We created some star boxes. Now we are creating these. In German, they are called Froebelsterne, Froebel stars, invented by a guy called Froebel, famous for his educational system. So you could use that, create them like double-sided. I only created them one-sided because this way you can easily glue them on presents and decorate your presents. That was my intention. Once again, I chose a green piece of paper, what was probably not the smartest move I ever did. So let me just quickly grab another color. Here I am. So this is the paper I'm going to use. It's A4 size, which is approximately 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. Normally, if you would create double-sided Froebel stars, if you're creating stripes, paper stripes with this, and not by the already pre-cut paper stripes, the width of your stripes should be maximum 1 centimeter, otherwise the stripes are too short. But as I'm just creating one-sided Froebel stars this time, it is okay if I use a slightly wider paper stripe. So I'm going to use 1.5 centimeters for the width. So we already had red, but this is kind of Christmassy, right? Oh, what else do we have? We could use white. We will do white. The paper is 130 grams, by the way. And it's an Amazon order. Is it an Amazon Basic? No, it just says Amazon Web Shop. It's made in Germany, I think. Yeah. And you can print on it. That's kind of cool. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just simply measuring the width of the stripes. You need 4 per star. So I'm just marking down 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 centimeters. Same on this side. 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 centimeters. Then I'm using a slightly larger ruler. As soon as I found it, here we go. It's a 30 centimeter ruler. And just draw lines through the marks. If you have a cutting board, you can use that. I have one, but I just thought it's just for paper stripes, so we can do that like this. Nothing big. Then just simply cut them right along the lines. Afterwards, I recommend using an eraser to go over the edges so there's no pencil left. I won't do that at the moment because it's just for presentation purpose. And now the last one. So if you have 1.5 centimeter per paper stripe, which means 6 centimeters per star, you can get 3 out of 1 sheet of paper, which is kind of handy. So now you take each paper stripe and fold it in half. And what I like to do, because it makes easier to pull paper through somewhere, it's like cut off an edge up here. Makes it way easier to afterwards craft the stars, believe me. So once again, fold in half and cut off one edge. Same goes with the other two. All right. Now you have 4 similar stripes of paper folded in the middle with one edge cut off. What you do now is you interweave them. So you do that like this. I'm just doing it slowly because it's hard to describe, even in German, what I'm doing. So sometimes I simply don't know what I'm doing. Like this. And one last piece that goes through there. Then you pull it tight. And the result is something like a cross. But like Bridget's cross, for example. Now to fix everything and make it possible afterwards to create a double-sided one. So that's something you would especially need to do when you're creating a double-sided Froebel star, is that you take one piece of paper of the both stripes and fold them over each other. You're basically creating a second layer. Then the last one has to be pulled through here, and now you can see why I cut off the edge. It's just simpler to pull paper through when you have one edge cut off. And now everything is quite fixed and will definitely stay in place. So no. What we do now is we create these edges right here. And we do that on each side by folding it on the one side. I will do it like that so it's easier. So fold it to the outside, fold it down, and then slightly turn around and pull it through there. Wait, I think I just did it in the wrong direction. Okay. So the right to the right, the left to the left. Okay. This sometimes can get a tiny bit fiddly. And then you pull everything straight and it looks like this. So once again, to the outside. Let me just quickly think. No, back. To the outside. Downwards. So you already have the fold. Makes it easier afterwards. And then you turn it around slightly and pull it through there. I'm sure there are like 1,000 instructions. Hi! How are we doing today? Feel free to answer in German. I'm just speaking English for the English-speaking audience because I promised to do this one in English. But as I said, feel free to write in German. I'm going to answer in English. Okay, so we have the second one. Now let me just think so that I'm not... Okay, so we are folding outward. folding downward, and then fiddle everything through here. And pull it tight. Yes, I'm also quite passionate about sewing, that's right. And we will be doing some sewing later. We still have like 45 minutes left. That should work. We at least will start doing that. And if you're really interested in sewing, on Friday I will do a German sewing stream in the morning for 2 hours, plus 2 hours in the afternoon. So morning is from 10 to 12, and the afternoon is from 4 to 6. And we're working on an experiment. I'm trying to sew some pants. I've never done that before, but I thought, why not try it out? We just recently added pockets. So that went quite good, I would say, with a couple of mistakes by my side, but it went good. Okay, so where were we? Okay, this one. Folding outwards, folding inwards, crying out loud, and fiddling it through. By the way, feel free to join my Discord channel if you like. Oh, that sounds great. Otherwise, if you'd like to, the replays are available on my YouTube channel, because, Twitch is going to delete them after about 6 or 7 days. So if you want to watch some replays, just follow the link to my YouTube channel. I'm going to post you the German and the English version. Just give me a second. And feel free to join our Discord community, which is currently in the process of being built up. We're a bunch of quite funny people there. Just quickly posting something here. This is the English. Okay, this is further information. So for every stream, I have further information that you can check out, like book titles and such. Let me just add that this is the English version. And today I'm a one-woman show with just one monitor, so patience, please, if you're already on the Discord and I haven't given you any rights yet. My moderator, which is apparently my boyfriend, is currently not feeling well, so I'm doing this on my own at the moment. So this is probably every link you might need. Where's my Discord? Oh, I can see someone just joined. Welcome to the Discord. Let me just quickly Oh, ich habe meine Nase. You should now be a member on my Discord channel, which means you will now have access to all sorts of different channels, as well as some channels where I'm posting some freebies every now and then. So welcome and thank you for joining. So you have a Christmas party this afternoon? Yeah, there are more freebies to come. I promise. All right. Let me see. I'm always folding in the wrong direction, therefore better double check. So we're folding outward. A vegan restaurant. Okay. Are you many vegans in your group then? Or was it, I don't know, just by something like we just want to try it out, or don't think we have vegan restaurants around here. I live near Castle. Oh, you're the only vegan. Ah, okay. Do you know any vegan restaurants around Castle? Just by any chance? I mean, the vegan community is kind of huge, but I don't know. Okay, once again, let me just check. Folding outwards, inwards, and fiddling it through. But it's kind of cool that even you're the only one that you're going to a vegan restaurant. Oh, you're from Bavaria. Okay. Well, I'm almost living in Castle, but it's just a few kilometers away from that. Wait, did I do the right thing now? Yeah, fold it outwards, fold it downwards, and then fiddling it through. No, this was the wrong direction, right? Yep, wrong direction. Jesus Christ. I once went to a vegan restaurant. I think it was vegan and vegetarian, so it was a mixture, but most of the dishes were definitely vegan. While I did a training with SAP in Heidelberg. Not quite sure whether this restaurant still exists, but it was pretty yummy. Even had a colleague join me. So, but she's quite open-minded regarding food choices, so she was quick in saying yes when I asked her whether to try it out or not. I've been a vegetarian for quite long, therefore I was just curious looking that one up. All right, I think we're done with the edges now. Now comes the extremely fiddly part, but first let me read the chat. Well then, have fun, have a really nice evening, enjoy your food, and afterwards let me know what you had for dinner. I'm curious. So let me just quickly check. We have, okay. Now, what I'm doing is I'm now continuing to craft with the longer paper stripes. On the back, we will just later cut down the stripes and glue them to the bottom. This way we can add it later to a present. So I'm folding them upwards to make it easier for me. Then here comes the tricky part because you have to turn the paper stripe. Just a second. No, that was, okay, this way. Counterclockwise in my case. And pull it through and underneath the stripe on the other side. And here it gets fiddly. Especially when the paper is too thin and doesn't want to be pulled through. Oh, this one works. Okay. Then pull it as tight as possible without ripping the paper. And you have number one. Same goes with this one. Let's do this one. So turning it around and pulling it underneath the other one counterclockwise again. Sometimes pliers are quite helpful, by the way. Pulling it tight. And next one. No, this wasn't right, was it? No, it wasn't. Knew it. Okay, this one is quite tight. There it is. Longer paper stripes definitely make things easier. And the last one. Normally when you buy the paper stripes, the pre-cut ones, the paper is dirtier, or simply use dirtier paper. Makes it definitely easier. I have some pliers somewhere. Of course not. I had some, but I don't know where I put them. Damn it. Where do I have my pliers? I'm just quickly grabbing something. I'll be back in a second. But because I can already see the piece of paper, but can't pull it through. This way. It works better. Yep. Perfect. Now that whole messy thing looks like this. So we're cutting off some edges and some paper stripes. Be careful not to cut into the star. It might unravel. And you might have to begin from the start, which is not what we intended to do. All right, and as I said, the ones on the back will be cut back and glued down afterwards. Now it looks like this. Just putting these upwards to put some glue on them. Just a tiny bit. And we're done. Some decoration. And as I said, just imagine you have like a package, Christmas gift. You can nicely put it out there. Maybe put a wider piece of paper underneath and write the name of the recipient on there. There are a couple of options. All right, Froebel stars. Very good. So we already did 3 crafting projects. Very good. Let me just quickly put this one aside and sip on my tea that already went cold once again. That's just typically me. I always forget to drink my tea. All right. Shooby-dooby-doom. So, all right. Then we've got about half an hour left, but that is okay. If we don't finish it now, we're going to finish it next week, but we're doing nothing too fancy. Now we're doing a little pouch. Let me just quickly put aside what I don't need any longer and show you what we do need. First of all, you need fabric cut into the exact size needed. I created instructions based on the sizes that I chose. These are just 2 pages of it, so I don't tell you anything that's not correct. I created this a couple of weeks ago, so I couldn't probably remember all the measurements. So a cheat sheet basically for me right now. The cheat that I'm going to provide to you in the Discord community is having 5 pages, and the instructions are in English, but if you want to have them translated into German or have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm just quickly posting it in our Discord channel underneath freebies Nähen Sewing, and it is called a Basic Instructions Mini Pouches. Being processed. Something's not right here. Okay, it's in the process of being posted. I will check this afterwards. Let's just continue with this one. So, step number 1 is cutting out the fabric and pinning everything in place. Right sides facing. As you can see here, I marked where we need to sew along. I've got about 1.5 centimeters of seam allowance because I tend to work with more seam allowance that actually is needed, but better safe than sorry. So as I said, pin it in place, and now we're going to sew around this line right here, stopping where the actual channel for the drawstring is going to be. So what I'm doing now is do I use red or white? I think white would look good, right? We're using white thread, simple white sewing thread. Mine is by Gütermann. It's called Allesnäher, so it is basically a sewing thread that you could use for almost everything. It's not cotton. It's polyester. Polyester, I think it's called. All right, then put a knot at the end to make sure it won't get lost and won't unravel. I'm a fan of having 3 knots on top of each other just to be sure. And then I'm starting on one side and I'm sewing along until the other side. You might need about the length of the thread you need is about 2.5 times the length of the seam, just approximately. Depends. I'm using a backstitch. If you're not sure how to properly do a backstitch, I know that Martha Stewart does have some nice instructions. I also recommend a book by Bernadette Benner, which is called Make, Sew, and Mend. She also described it very well in pictures and in writing. And for the Germans among us, Burda does have some great instructions in their books. I have a book which is called Nähschule in German, die große Nähschule. There are already machine and hand stitches explained in there. So this will also give you an idea. Apart from that, I'm pretty sure that the internet is providing hundreds of explanations. So let's just quickly sew along. I actually love hand sewing. I think it is a bit, not just a bit, but it's pretty relaxing from my point of view. And especially when I have such small projects, I love to do them by hand. I have a couple of friends with which I exchange mostly self-made gifts. And I think the value of such a gift that was hand-stitched, for example, is just, yeah, you can't just measure it. It's unbelievable how much effort has been put in there and how much passion. So, right. I pull out the pins as I go, because otherwise I know I have them stuck in my fingers somewhere, and that's something I don't want. And I have a thimble somewhere, but I don't know where. Normally sewing by hand is way more painless when you use a thimble, which I would highly recommend. But as I said, I don't know where I put mine. I have a leather thimble that I created myself, inspired by Bernadette Benner, who actually made me sew by hand every now and then. Um, so I highly recommend that you check her out. She has an amazing YouTube channel. She's an amazing creator of mostly historical clothing and puts a lot of research and effort into her projects. So highly recommend. And I think she also has a Discord channel and a Patreon, I think. Okay, it starts to hurt. So where's... Oh, here it is. Perfect. Just a plain leather thimble for painless sewing. So one side is almost done. We will later cut down the seam allowance a tiny bit. Not going to add extra stitches to the seam allowance. I'm just using special scissors to cut them off. This will also prevent them from unraveling too much. Plus, I said we are going to make easy pouches, so nothing too fancy here. So we're at the bottom. If you start sewing by hand, you're not that fast, and even I am not as fast as others are that are way more advanced in hand sewing. But I picked up quite some speed compared to the beginning, to be honest. So I'm kind of proud of myself, and my stitches became better. At the beginning, they were quite uneven, but now they're getting better and better. And I totally forgot to mention that with the measurement that I chose, I created a little stencil that has the overall fabric dimensions plus the seams on here. Okay, second corner. Timing is okay so far. As I said, if you don't finish, we'll just do the rest next week. probably next Wednesday. So nothing to worry about. Yes, I could also do that with a running backstitch, but I prefer a plain backstitch, to be honest. I think this is sturdier in the end. But I'm not sure whether the thread that I cut is actually long enough. I have my doubts. Maybe for the last centimeters we need to add a bit more thread, but we will see. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Because I didn't measure the thread, I just eyeballed it. So I think somewhere it's suggested that when you cut a piece of thread, it shouldn't be longer than your underarm. So from here to here. This way it's still easy to handle. Because it doesn't make sense when your piece of thread is like a meter long and you get caught up in a couple of things in between or have too many knots in there. So better risk adding another thread instead of getting your thread knotted. I think that should work out. But it shouldn't be any shorter. I'm going to sew the last centimeter without the thimble because the arm thread tends to get stuck on it, and I don't want that at the moment. Right, here we are. And I always close with a knot, not just double with treble. I swear by treble, but everyone has its own special technique when it comes to closing off. All right, here we go. Now we can cut this one off. Even shorten the one at the beginning. What we do now is we will take care of the channel on top where the thread is pulled through. And to do that, we are going to press open the seam allowance and fold it over like this on both sides. If you don't want to press it, use your fingernail. Works well, believe me. Like this. I mean, if it were a garment or something like that, yeah, I would press it, but in this case, nah. Right, fold this one over as well, and now I have to grab some scissors that, of course, I left on the other desk. Just a second. Zigzag scissors. Quick and easy method to finish off a seam. So I'm cutting it down to about 0.75 centimeters. Could have done that before folding it over, by the way. I just forgot. Happens. Okay, and this one will be cut together. Otherwise. And the bottom. Regarding the edges on the bottom, I recommend that you cut it off like this, but make sure that you don't cut into the seam diagonally. Right. Okay, now it looks a bit like this. As I said, fold open the seam allowance, fold it over. And now we're taking care of the channels. And to sew the channels, we have to fold it over. First, at about 1 centimeter. I'm now going to eyeball it, it's easier. And then at about 1.5 centimeters. So we're almost at the seam. And then we use a pin to secure it. Doing that on both sides. And by folding the seam inwards, you will get a nice edge. This is actually something I learned from Martha Stewart. Now using my fingernail once again, I'm just flattening the fabric a bit. And on the other side, I'm doing the same. Folding inward, folding down for about 1 centimeter. As I said, eyeball it and then fold it over. Should be almost equal on both sides. So with a few adjustments, looks good. Put in a few pins to secure everything. And I'm going to put another one in here as well. This side as well. This doesn't want to stay inside. Right, this, and add another pin. So everything is probably secured. Then flatten out the fabric by once again using your fingernail. Add another pin if necessary, and then we're going to make a seam on the bottom of the channel. The distance should be about 2 millimeters, so not too far away, but make sure that you don't go under the channel. And you have to stitch from this side, right side up, so to say. If necessary, just put some marks down there with chalk marker or something, magic markers. There are options. I'm trying to eyeball it now, so wrong scissors. And once again, I am using back stitches. And put some knots at the end. I'm once again doing 3 knots above each other. And then I'll start backstitching. Let me see. About here. At the beginning, I do backstitch pretty slowly to secure everything in place properly. Just the first 1 or 2 stitches, and then I speed up. Okay, that looks good. Ooh, thimble. Otherwise, ouch. Now I can already remove the pin. And then make sure that you stitch along, taking into account that, as I said before, the channel does have a width of about 1.5 centimeters, and you should stay within these 1.5 centimeters. So it usually takes a bit of practice to sew a straight line by hand. For me, it sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. So with machine, it's definitely easier. But yeah, I decided to do this by hand. I could have marked the seams, so that would have made it a bit easier. Not the straightest of all seams, but well, should work. About 3 millimeters away from the bottom edge of the channel, so that's okay. And it's for demonstration purposes. I think we're going to finish this one today, even if it means we're a bit over time. That is okay. My boyfriend is taking a nap, and I'm supposed to wake him up when I'm done with cooking. So 5 minutes more or less aren't such a big deal. So almost done with one side. Just put a knot in there. And then afterwards, I'm just simply pulling the thread through there to hide it. And then cut it off. So one side done. Now we're doing the other side. Let's just check whether this is might be still enough, but I go for a longer piece of yarn. Thread, sorry. All right. One more seam to do. Again, the beginning is a bit slower, but I want to set the seam on the right position. Okay, first stitch is done. Now I can remove the pin and can speed up the stitching. Good. Again, I'm just eyeballing where the seam has to be. I haven't measured anything, I haven't marked anything, so and as I said before, self-made things are allowed to look self-made. Just a couple of centimeters left. And make sure when you sew by hand that you pull the thread tight enough. Don't want the seam to be too loose. Almost there. Last stitches. just one last knot. Okay, triple knot. Extra secure. Then again, I pull it through here to hide it. And I cut it off. For the backstage, it doesn't look 100% tidy on the bottom, but that's okay. Now we can turn it up inside out, outside in. We can turn the right side out. I think this is, yeah. And as we cut off the edges on the bottom, even the corners do look kind of nice. Not 100% sharp, but nice. Okay, this is the pouch we just made. Now all we need is some string to put in here, and I have prepared some. This is braided string that I made, and I'm now going to put it through here using a safety pin that I put somewhere. I think I have an extra one. Yeah, I have an extra one. That's good. So I'm putting the safety pin through here, almost in the middle. It's just one piece of string, so I'm going to put it in half. But as I'm already on it, I can put both to one side, one channel. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm cutting it open right here. Just a simple knot. Same goes for this side. Simple knot. Let's see. One has to be pulled through. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we now have two on this side, which means that what I'm doing here isn't 100% correct. Need the safety pin one more time because I want to knot both strings on different sides. Now a knot through both with both sides. I'm cutting off the excess yarn. And we're done. A cute little drawstring pouch, which you can knot, hang, or whatever. Maybe put a bow on top, like this, for example. And you can store little presents in here. So easy to do. All right, 5 minutes past 6. Okay, we're almost still on time, but I just wanted to finish this. All right. So, just a quick recap. We did some star boxes. We did gift tags. We created Froebel stars. We checked out my new planner setup and we hand soon, we've hand soon tiny pouches. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, I just saw a message popping up that you posted something. I'm going to check it out after the stream, but thank you very much. I saw that you posted a picture of another sewing machine. Already looking forward to it. All right, everyone. Have a nice evening or afternoon or whatever it is where you are in your day. And see you soon. Remember, on Friday, we are once again sewing in German. Next week, probably next Wednesday, around late afternoon or evening for me, German time, we're doing another English speaking live stream. So, see you then, and yeah, good night to you as well. Bye bye.